Oh, they're still dissolving mulligans.
We have our first round. It's James Combrink playing Counter Company, deck that's sort of recently just skyrocketed to
popularity.
yeah, it's very popular because Infinite, who doesn't want to turn eights on their sides, and Shannon Ions playing the Jeskai favorable wins list we were chatting about in the intro. Both players are about ready to start. I think Shannon's mulligan down to 4 already, and James basically went snap keep on his opening hand. So let's just move over to that after James is finished with his cell phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems Shannon's just stepped away from the table for a moment.
Yeah, I wonder what's happening. Both players are... Okay, and they've returned.
Cool.
I really wonder what we're going to be seeing here.
Okay, so it looks like Shannon's on the play, leading with a Glacial Fortress. Probably just gonna have to make do with whatever he gets with a mulligan. So
got a Windswept Heath and a Birds of Paradise in James's hand. He just cracks for a forest immediately. Probably going to play the bird, which makes sense. I mean, the best thing Shannon can do is path it.
Yeah, is Shannon not playing any bolts in his deck?
Yes, he is playing Bolt as well, but he doesn't. I mean, he didn't have a red land up at the moment. James knows nothing about the list. Now he sees the red.
Is that a Battlefield Forge?
Yeah,
Okay.
nice old Apocalypse one at that free range mana.
Yeah, he's not gonna have to worry about his life total too much. If he does get comboed out, it's just gonna be one big chunk of
Yeah,
infinite damage.
James can legitimately just chip at his life total.
Yeah.
It's an Abzan deck. You play mid-range creatures that also just happen to combo. Except for Devoted Druid, he just makes mana. I suppose it's like a wall of roots, kind of, until you combo out, then it's, the enabler.
Okay, so James deciding to fetch for basic planes. Deciding on what play he's going to make next. Possibly Renegade Rallier, ramp a bit more.
Oh,
Are you sure this is a Blood Moon, Abzan deck?
Yeah, that is so odd. This is Counter Company, most certainly.
Okay.
But he does have a red splash for Magus of the Moon. I didn't even see that.
This looks like a 5-color deck because I see a Blood Baron in the sideboard as well.
And there's breeding pools.
Okay, so this is a
This is
5-color
crazy.
Magus of the Moon deck. Okay.
How is he playing? Okay, I suppose he's got Birds of Paradise and Hierarchs, so he gets to play through his own Blood Moon. And he's just fetching basics.
Yes. So Shannon's basically locked out of this game. James just needs to get a clock down and finish it off.
Well, he does have a 2-2.
I see he's got a Renegade Rally in hand as well. If you can get that Revolt going, you should be able to get this, locked up pretty quickly.
And it's a Devoted Druid. And he's got Chord of Calling in hand. Does he have an appropriate mana sink? 2 Chord of Calling, actually. Yeah, I think he might just have this next turn.
So he can just... Yeah, he can code for it, get infinite clean. But does he have the payoff card in hand? I don't think he does. Oh, he's got another chord. So
yeah, so he's got chord for Vizier and then chord for whatever else he wants, really.
He'd have to code for Duskwatch.
What is in his list? Yeah, Duskwatch Recruiter.
Yeah, so he's going
Ronus can also just make the bird hit him for lethal because of the pump ability.
Yeah.
Super effective. James used Blood Moon.
Yeah, so James is going to cast Chord of Calling here.
X is 2. Yeah, I
think he's going to go fetch the Vizier, which is in the lime to infinitely untap the Devoted Druid, making a lot of green mana. Cast the second chord for Duskwatch Recruiter. Cast and activate it till he finds Walking Ballista.
Anything.
Walking Ballista kills this turn.
Yeah, and Ronus.
No, the bird's tapped. Oh, you can untap the Druid and attack with it.
And just hit him with that.
Yes.
Whichever he feels is cooler in this situation, because Shannon is completely helpless. He's got a bunch of mountains.
Well, I mean, he could cast the Bolt, but he would have done that by now.
I think he would have killed Devoted Druid in response to... No, he would have just blown up the Magus of the Moon, actually.
Oh, he had the Ronus in hand.
Oh, fancy Ronus at that. Yep, he's doing it. He's just going, pump this guy, hit you for a
A
ton.
ton.
I didn't update James's life total here, but
I think he
so
ended up on
he did
18.
not start on 8. He was actually on 20 when the game began, and Shannon is
Yeah.
now on an arbitrarily low number.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awkward.
It doesn't look like Shannon's deck's able to play through that Magus at all.
I think he's got to be. Yeah, he doesn't have any much fetching going on here. Let me just see if I can find the deck lists here.
No,
That is incorrect. There we go. A little bit of a problem with James's list, so I think we're just gonna put this up while we fix it. What do you think? What do you think he's gonna be up to from the sideboard?
For Shannon.
Shannon specifically. I mean, James is pretty.
Ooh. Is it Staticoster? Maybe. I'd bring in Dispels for the chords.
Yeah, the spell is super strong. Yeah, hits company, hits chord.
You might want Gutshot for the birds. Just if you take down the birds, it slows down the plan. Maybe enough for you to actually interact with it. But also depends what his configuration of removal looks like mainboard. Like how many bolts, that kind of thing.
I'm not really sure. I see 4 bolts and 0 path.
Okay, he's got vape. Okay, so he's a vapor snag, not a path deck.
There's also an electrolyze.
Although that's a bit slow against this particular combo. But he could probably work a situation where he can get some value off it if he draws it. I quite like the Spell Collar in this matchup.
It does have to come in under the Blood Moon though.
It does, but it can
super
nab a Blood
difficult.
Moon. Whereas the Judge's Familiar and the Mausoleum Wanderers can't do that too well.
He's got 4 copies of Ancient Ziggurat, and considering he's mostly casting creatures, it's good.
Yes.
I just don't like that it doesn't make mana for anything else.
Well, he only plays. Oh, that's.
Yeah,
No,
so
he
he's
plays
got-
quite a few.
But that's a Lightning Angel in his deck. Sorry, you can't see the deck list now, but he's got the 4/4 Mantis Rider in his deck as well.
Yeah.
Hectic. Going all in.
Wait, what is Pride of Clouds?
Pride of Clouds. Let me just see. So we've got a bit of a problem with James's deck list, but I'm going to put this up so you guys can see the card. I need to interact with this. So Pride of the Clouds is a 4-cost creature. It's a 2/2.
Is it when you forecast it makes a flyer
Yes,
and then
it
it
makes a
counts?
And then it gets +1/+1 for each creature with flying. So it's a 2/2 for 2, basically, because it pumps itself.
Of course.
Pay 4 mana, reveal it from your hand, and you get a 1/1 white and blue
Wow, that's
bird with flying.
a lot of value.
It's a bit of grind. It's kind of like Sky Hussar. It's the lesser known one. James's deck list looking horrible there in all text. We will fix that for the next round. But I think they're about ready to start, so we're gonna move over to that.
Yeah, you can hear the players discussing how James could have killed Shannon in the previous game. Spoiled for choice, Lily.
Yeah, Shannon on the play.
Okay. Looks like both players are still on 7. Let's see if they keep James's hand looking kind of land light, if I'm seeing correctly.
Yeah, that is 1 land, and he looks like he's not. Yeah, James is sending that away. Shannon's got a bolt and a red source on turn 1, which I think is good because it keeps James off the turn 2 Blood Moon, so that he can hopefully draw a Spell Queller, so he can.
Yeah, so he
Grab
also saw
that.
Judge's Familiar in his hand, so he's going to be able to lead on
Yeah,
creature,
maybe he leads with a familiar.
and then if needs be, he can bolt the bird. Okay. So let's see what James comes up with.
See a Wooded Foothills, Vizier of Remedies.
This guy's a Scavenging Ooze?
No, that second card is Vizier of Remedies.
No, of the Sky.
Oh, sure.
I don't think I saw that one properly.
Okay, so they're keeping. And Shannon leads with the Judge's Familiar.
I see he's got a second one in hand.
Takes a point of pain from that, I believe.
Those will help slow down James's chords when it comes to crunch time. Because James wouldn't really be interested in removing those.
Yeah, Shannon did literal nothing the previous game.
Well, he did mulligan.
Mulligan to 4 and then goldfished, essentially.
Yes. Okay. Shannon's just weighing up his options.
I don't know if James wants to crack this just yet. He's got a knight, a vizier, Gavany Township, what looks like a sacred foundry,
and a cocoa,
and a collected company in hand. So he's got things to play. He's just a little slower than considerably slower than the previous game. And Shannon's going to get in for some early damage here. I think he's got to climb the hill at some point.
Shannon just needs to find a way of turning the screws before James catches up. James' hand is quite slow.
Goes down to 18, fetching a temple garden. No, he's changing his mind about that, but he is on 18 life.
Okay.
Stomping ground?
No, changing our mind again.
It is a stomping ground.
Confirmed stomping ground. Okay, so James goes erroneous for the turn. I hope. Maybe it's not the only
masterpiece in his deck.
Yeah. There's no way you could get it right.
Yeah, from this distance, it's impossible to know. I think it is erroneous though. He shocks for the Sacred Foundry, putting him down to 16.
Okay, Shannon, I think you should bolt that creature.
Boldly leads with a Vizier, but I don't think Vizier is that valuable here. It turns off the growth on James's Scavenging Ooze, and it also, because he can play the Devoted Druid and not go off next turn, because Druid doesn't have haste.
Yes.
So maybe he keeps the bolt. James did pick up a Fulminator Mage, which hits 80% of the lands in Shannon's deck.
Yeah, I think Shannon plays 5 basics.
4 islands and a mountain.
Maybe there's
one
plane.
So
that makes sense.
6 in total, but still a very low number.
He's very high on island. Okay.
Well, you should stop smoking islands then. Oh, he's got Charges Familiar and Mausoleum Wanderer on turn 1. Vapor Snag also.
Okay, so he's okay, so he just played a Mantis Rider that's a 3/3 flying Vigilance Haste.
That's a good clock. It's got Vigilance, yes. There we go. Takes 11. Well, goes down to 11, rather. Shannon's still sitting pretty on 19 life, and James is under real pressure here. This is
a
significant clock. If Shannon does have a bolt in hand, which I think he does, a favorable wins also just finishes the game here.
Yeah.
To put Shannon on 8 points of damage, which puts James to lethal. So if he has a favorable wins or he draws one off the top, and James doesn't have an answer for it, I think this might just go Shannon's way.
Yeah. Okay, so James leads with a knight.
It's got +1/+1 at the moment, so it's 3/3 for 3. Just on curve stats. Also gets to search for lands. Yeah, respectable at the moment, not crazy.
Yeah, well, none of his creatures able to block, which is a bit of a problem for these green-white X decks.
Shannon sitting on a negate and a lightning bolt. I think he's just gonna attack again.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't attack. He might need to worry about some trickiness from that knight, but you should be able to close this game out.
I am a little confused about the negate, though, because he's taxing James's chords so heavily with the Judge's Familiars. He's got Flying Force Spikes.
Yeah, well, James does play a lot of mana producing creatures.
So fair enough. So maybe the hard counter is good.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's the negates though, and not just the dispels.
Playing Dispel, because I mean, all of his stuff is instant speed, Coco and Cord. There's nothing else, but
Yeah. Even removal that James could bring in would be
generally
instant.
be instant speed. What does he have?
Or maybe Shannon knows about the Aldrich evolutions.
Yeah, that's something he could be playing to. There is literal no removal in James's list. I'm having a look at it here, and I don't see anything.
I think Fulminator Mage is the closest, and Staticaster.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so he's all in on the value combo town.
Okay, just explaining the exalted clause on Noble Hierarch.
Your Mantis Ladder can't block profitably.
Attacking for 3? Interesting.
Yeah, he wants to activate the Knight. It's there that you'll see the Knight attack the turn after it comes off Summoning Sickness.
6. So we've been forgetting all of the pain that Shannon's been taking from his pain lands because they're not nice
I think
to
he's
him. So
he's only taken 1.
Yeah, I've just heard the life total update now.
Yeah. He's taken 2 pain so far.
Shannon is on 14 at the moment. He's just drawn another land, I believe.
Okay, is James on 11?
James is on 11 and Shannon's on 14. So, according to the last thing I've heard them say. I'm pretty sure it's right. Does he just get in here?
Yeah.
Boop. Another 5 in the air. James sitting on Collected Company and what looks like another land.
Okay, so James goes to 1. I think we missed a life total update there.
James is on 1.
Yeah. Okay, and Shannon...
Was there a swing for 5 the previous day? We just missed one whole turn of damage there. So he went to 5 and then went down to 1. Ooh.
Yeah.
Not being particularly attentive there. Let's see if I can find out what's wrong with this list. Ether Sworn Canonist is not a card. Let's just reset everything here. This thing is still not happy about James's deck list, and I'm not sure why. Do you think Shannon brings in does he have them in his main deck now, the spells?
I don't know if he would have brought
he
4
did
counter
see a
spells
chord. Yeah, so maybe like a split. Maybe he's anticipating
I think
Eldritch Evolution.
I think the negates are fine.
They hit more.
Just to hedge, like you don't know if he's on like Banned Nightfall. I mean, James already displayed that he's playing a very wide range of, like his deck has quite a wide range of things it can do.
Yeah.
So it's not inconceivable to think that there might just be like a 1 of retreat in there that might blow you out, that your birds can't counter.
This is quite a versatile shell. I like it. You know, it's got combo outs to 2 of them. And if you can side in a different one if you're so inclined. Blood Baron is great in the sideboard. It doesn't die to anything.
I don't think Shannon's deck interacts well with Blood. Oh no, he's got.
No, there isn't a deck in Modern that interacts well with Blood Baron.
Well, no, Shannon's does because he's got Vapor Snag.
Vapor Snag.
I just auto assumed he was a Path deck because you know when you think Jeskai, you think Path, not so much Vapor Snag these days. But yeah, I don't think James would have brought. Well, James might bring the Blood Baron in just because of the mistake I just made. Thinking this is a Jeskai deck, you know, it's reasonable to think he's on Path. I'm gonna bring in Blood Baron and race your aggressive creatures.
Yeah,
and then he could get blown out. I mean, I would have thought
put
that.
it in, yeah, because he's got a double.
All his creatures are white. And I mean, you saw Bolt, but he needs 2 of them.
He hasn't seen the Mausoleum Wanderer, but that's a single creature that
Yeah.
Blood Baron is actually quite good here. If you
Outside
put your
of the
opponent on
outside of the Vapor
not
Snags,
Vapor
it could
Snag.
be very, very good. Yeah. What color are the tokens that the Pride
White
of
and
Cloud?
blue.
Okay, so
They
it's
are those things.
okay. Shannon's just tweaking the configuration of his deck for when he's on the draw. I imagine. Okay, so we're just working to get that James's deck list to populate properly. Hopefully, we'll have that sorted in a moment. Players have presented now. We'll be starting game 3 soon. Okay. So James decides to keep. He's going to be able to lead with bird. Not able to really see the rest of his hand.
Yeah, just a bird. It's got a basic.
Okay, we do see a Coco and some other lands there. Added Mesa and
Shannon's got a bunch of pain lands. A basic island could be good here. The Judge's Familiar.
okay.
Taps the bird for the Druid. See, now that is definitely something you would bolt immediately.
If
you
you have a
the
bolt,
chance to, if he has it. Does he have any removal? He's got a negate, some pain lands, some more lands.
what are those?
I can't see the last two cards in his hand, but I think they're the same thing. Possibly Ancient Cigarettes? I think he's got a grip full of lands and a negate here.
I don't think you would have kept that at 7. I think those might be Vapor Snags.
Oh yeah, actually that looks like a little blue symbol in the top corner. He's got double Vapor Snag and lands and a negate.
Yeah. He just needs to be careful about this turn. You can always wait to Vapor Snag the Dork in response to James's first spell. Just so that he can play around Coco, because James can cast Coco next turn. See, if you brought in the Dispels, you'd have been able to Vapor Snag and Dispel on the same turn.
Yeah.
But I suppose he does have the bird to stop a Coco.
Or he's
But
just
that's his,
taxing it, really.
that's his only creature at the moment.
Drawing first blood in this game. Shannon's taking no pain yet. James has gone down to 18 from his fetch land. Yeah, I think that collected company might be happening next turn.
Yeah, it's going to force Shannon to sack his bird.
Yeah.
You can't afford James to resolve. You can't afford for James to resolve that.
The collected company is too much value. We do have the deck lists fixed for now, and there's not a huge amount going on in the game. James about to untap with a Devoted Druid, but yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah,
It is definitely 5 colors.
I think the Blood Baron's the only. Oh no, there's the Fulminators as well.
Fulminator
But
Mage.
James is base red, I think.
Glenrender Archmage is the double counterspell.
Yeah,
creature.
double negate on the body.
Exceptional with Vizier of Remedies. It does not ever die. It's wow, that's pretty good.
That's a combo.
Just locks you out of non-creature spells.
Okay, so you don't lose to Ad Nauseam ever.
Oh, they have to respond twice. Okay, well, James and Shannon not looking particularly healthy here.
Okay, so James just passed. I'm sure You know, he's got nothing to do with that 4 mana. He's just left up there.
5, because he's got
Oh,
Devoted
sure,
Druid as
devoted
well.
druid. Only 5 mana.
Yeah, he
on
doesn't even
turn
have to
3.
put a -1/-1 counter on it because, yeah, he's going to take the damage here, go to 17. Oh no, he's blocking. And
Yeah, but
it's
he's going to use it for the cocoa. Oh,
Oh,
that's
very smart.
disgusting.
Block Township. Shannon didn't see that.
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
that.
it, but it was there. Losing to onboard tricks.
James, so
Oh,
masterful.
wow. Oh, he's got a vapor snag though. We also didn't think about that.
Yeah, this doesn't even set James back that far because now that the Glued has a counter on it, it gets to produce an extra mana even without the Vizier.
James takes a point of damage from the vapor snag and a sip of tea from his juice box. People laughing in the background. It sounds jovial in the room today.
I have no doubt it's something to do with the mono black vehicles deck. Okay, so Shannon just weighing up his options.
Another one.
The more tax bids. Okay. Those guys are not looking
He's
particularly
slowing James
good.
down quite a bit.
Yeah, but he's not progressing himself at all.
Not too much.
No.
He does have one extra body.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he's trying to hold onto the vapor snag, and he wants to play the Manslider and be able to play the second snag in the same turn. Just to protect himself against the combo, and then he'll have negate.
Well, he's got one snag left.
Yes. Yeah, his creatures are just not that threatening without the favorable winds down.
James holds, but I wonder if it's upside down in his hand so he knows what information his opponent has.
So it's non-information.
That's a cool way of doing it.
I mean, it's kind of a giveaway when your sleeves of art on the
Yeah,
back.
but it's less, I don't know, disturbing than playing with the card like half your hand open and half your hand closed.
True.
Because it's difficult to keep track of what's where then. He's got a Magus of the Moon, which is probably going to get vapor snagged if it comes down.
Well, the next turn, yeah. Oh, you'd have to float in response and then do it.
No, he's got an island. Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a tapped island.
Is that an Auriok champion in James's hand?
I think so.
I don't think Shannon can beat that card.
It can get vapor snagged.
Sure.
Well, it only costs 2 mana, so you'll probably just play it again the following turn. But nothing else in his deck hits it. Electrolyze doesn't do the job.
Okay, so James
doesn't do the job. 3 mana, 4 mana.
Is James going to try and...
Main phase Coco?
Yeah, I think he's trying to play around... Okay, he's trying to get
Collective
Shannon
Company?
to make a mistake with his birds.
Targeting your Judge's Familiar?
Both of them. So even if Shannon sacks both his birds, James can pay.
Yes, he can.
So he's trying to destroy Shannon here. So if Shannon goes to the sack, he's going to clear his board and get a Coco.
Sacrifice the other one. And he's got him.
Yeah.
Collected Company resolves. Wow.
Yeah. So that's a really, really heads-up play by James.
That's a 4-for-1 there.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ow.
Now James just hopes he
Is that
hits...
Druid still alive? Where did the counters on it go? They just disappeared.
The counter got used to untap it so that he could kill the second bird.
Oh, it was a +1/+1 counter.
Yes, from the Gavin.
Okay.
James is not looking too happy with this Coco. I mean,
I'd just be happy with that trade,
Yeah.
Get 2 bodies down, kill both your counterspell guys.
Yeah, but
and he has some form of pressure.
So this kind of just forces Shannon into playing Manta Slider because he's way behind. Because I mean, this isn't even a bad board because of the Gavini.
Yeah, I don't think his deck is particularly strong against Coco Chord. I mean, he can't actually put any sweepers in from the side because he'll
No.
just be damaging himself. He'll force himself to not progress the board. It's got vigilance.
Does have vigilance.
Attacks for 3.
And quite heads up by Shannon to leave the island untapped. In the face of potential, what's that guy's name? Magus of the Moon.
Blood Moon Man.
Blood Moon guy.
Shannon just took some damage there, actually. I might have missed one earlier, but I think this is close enough. Ugh. Whole lot of nothing going on here. James just flicking through the cards in his hand. He's got Bird Knight, Magus of the Moon, Auriok Champion, and something I can't identify.
He's got a knight in hand.
What is that second? What is he fiddling with there? Knight, Magus, Bird, Druid. Is that another
It's a Duskwatch.
Okay. Good bunch of mid-rangey creatures, except for the Magus, which is just a blowout in a lot of situations.
Does James have a Ghost Quarter in his list?
I'll have a look.
Because
there's none side, and there doesn't seem to be any main either. Putting Ghost Court in a 5-color mana base along with Gavany Township it's probably a little bit too ambitious.
I mean,
guessing Wolfran, Gavany Township.
He's got a Bajuka bug in the sideboard.
That's crazy.
It works. I mean, he hasn't stumbled on mana yet. Even when he Blood Mooned the board.
Does he have a good amount of basics to fetch? No, he's also pretty light on them. 2, 3, 4.
And there's the moon. Okay,
and
so this is
probably going to get Vapor Snagged.
Your island doesn't break under Blood Moon, Shannon.
Gets a life from the Auriok Champion.
See, now, I think that was a bit of a rush play. The thing is, that knight's probably just going to kill him at this point.
Well, he's got nothing. He's going to Vapor Snag next turn and then do something.
Yeah, so the most expensive spell in his deck's 4 mana.
With the Lightning Angel,
and we already know he has Battlefield Forge in hand. So his island never breaks under the Blood Moon. And so he'll untap, be able to play the most expensive spell in his deck. Still be able to get in for how much? 7? Because he tapped the bird. Put him James on a 2-turn clock. So I think he could have waited a turn before he cast that, or waited for his own turn to cast the Vapor Snag.
He drew another land.
Just for the extra info.
I don't think the negate is going to do anything here. It just attacks for 3.
Yeah.
Puts James to 11.
Okay, so this is a very important turn for James. If he doesn't get the slap at this turn, he's probably going to win next turn.
He doesn't have a Vizier, but I don't know, he's got a fair amount of pressure. The Bird and the Hierarch do little. Bird blocks the Mantis Rider if he feels like his life total is too low, but he did just draw Kitchen Finks.
So James will be able to commit to the board, use Knight to get case of Wolfran.
Yeah, and then just start
landing Shannon over.
No, he's got a Gavany on the battlefield, actually. Wide board plus Gavany usually wins the game.
Yeah. James is making sure he taps his mana correctly so that he can, commit to the board and still activate Gavany.
3 life in total.
Okay.
Right back up to 14. Just undid Shannon's turn there. Ouch.
That is really powerful. That Auriok Champion's actually doing quite a bit of work.
It's unkillable. It's never going to die.
Yeah. James is representing a whole bunch of things right now. It could be another Coco with that knight untapped. Who knows? Could be a massive chord. Shannon's in a real tight spot here.
Oriok champion is like a little blood baron.
Yes.
It gains life and it doesn't die to bolt or fatal push. It still gets path, but
It does still get path, but I mean,
it's
I think
good.
there's one playable creature in Modern that doesn't get path. Well, and the Bogles, of course.
It looks like Shannon is giving the concession here.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
point
there's
sitting in
no way
denial
he
that you're
gets
going
out
to
of
win
this.
this game.
Up 2-0 to James. Shannon just drawing a bunch of lands there. A favorable wins last game when he had the double judges from double judges family and the Mantis Rider on the battlefield would have been very good.
Yeah, the pivotal turn this game was with when James main faced that Coco.
So what is this 2-1 to James? Did Shannon take a game there with a
No,
lightning
James
bolt?
won game 1, I think, with the infinite combo. Then Shannon won game 2.
2 with a bolt,
with
sure.
the
So it's
beats.
2-1 to James
Yeah.
at the moment. He's just playing out the what he would have done next turn. Kill you anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, you should have conceded. I don't know. What do you think the plan legitimately? Shannon's deck list is
His
a bit
creatures
rough.
don't put enough pressure on.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
It's not tuned. I think he
Not
could be
not
using.
without the favorable wins.
Let me just turn the audio from the match off because they're quite distracting. Yeah.
Yeah, so without the favorable wins, his deck can't apply enough pressure to keep up with James's.
He's playing a full
deck.
set, yeah. Pride of the
Yeah.
Clouds is a fair amount of mana, but you do need, value, but you do need 4 mana to start activating it.
Yes.
And it locks up your mana for that turn, because you can only do it in your upkeep. It's not an instant speed ability.
Yeah, so it basically dictates what your turn is going to be. So if you already have the favorable wins down, that's fine. But playing a 4-mana 2/2 in Modern isn't really going to win you any games.
I feel like the list wants Ether Vial, just so you can be using your Pride of the Clouds and have mana up for instant speed creatures, because then you have Judge's Familiar at instant speed.
Yeah, you can blow people out.
Mausoleum Wanderer at instant speed. Spellcrawler's got flash anyway.
Yeah.
You can slam the Pride of the Clouds and it'll be huge.
Yeah, that would be a surprise blowout.
The mana base is definitely the big issue here, I think. Maybe lack of path to exile. It's 24 lands for something that curves out
At 4.
at 4.
Yeah, I think 24 lands is too much. I also think, even though this is trying to be an aggro deck, you still need some kind like a Serum Visions effect.
Just some card selection.
You need to get into your deck. He's got no form of real card advantage or card selection or card velocity going on. He's just relying on the birds holding down the
He
fort.
could be playing Sky Hussar if he wants.
Sky
The other forecast guy. Tap 2 untapped white creatures you control, draw a card.
I mean, that's a combo with double Mantis Rider, I suppose.
Right, no,
Oh, no, you have to do it
them.
in your upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit
not
awkward.
not a fan. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's difficult. Interesting list. I like the idea, but
Definitely interesting. I would have been
a little bit rough.
so if I was going to build a favorable wins deck, it would probably involve some flash fairies, because then you get to tempo out your opponent and then hit them on the way back.
The problem is with Ancient Ziggurat, it only adds mana for creatures. It is a land that makes any color, but you can't cast any of your other spells off of it. It's 17 cards in his deck.
I think that's only 4 of his 20 lands, though. I don't think that's.
Yeah, he's got 20 other lands that
yeah.
do the job.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with the Ghost Quarter in your 3-color deck, but I suppose I'm splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah, it's one.
Main,
and he's got 24
is that a main
lands.
board Kataki's War Wage? That's
Yeah.
not going to combo well with your Ether Vial.
Yeah, okay, so let's...
I didn't
that
even see
there.
that. That doesn't fly. I'm surprised to see that main board.
James's list is quite interesting. It's 5 colors.
Is Kataki's correctly placed in the sideboard?
And there's nothing in his list that it hits. Anyway, that was interesting round 1.
Yeah, look.
So James going up and
Shannon, unfortunately, feeling the wrath of tier 1 decks.
Shame. I like James's take on this.
I-
The Magus of the Moon is just flipping surprise.
Yeah, there's a good chance I'll be sleeving this up for FNM.
It's good. Good, like it's a
Thanks,
toolbox
James.
package main deck, and then you've got Eldritch Evolution to make it even more.
Yeah, to hit your
bulletty.
silver bullets, like so you can make sure you get your Kataki against robots.
Yeah. We'll see you next round.